All right, good Friday afternoon, everyone. It is just about 1 o'clock. We've had some storms so far this morning, some heavier showers across parts of the area. We had one strong storm down the coast that did give us a tornado warning earlier today that has since expired. That was in Lower Plaquemines. No severe warnings now, so we're clear on that front, but we do have some heavier showers moving in across the South Shore, some steady and soaking rain for the North Shore and South Mississippi. Stronger storms are still happening offshore out in the open waters, and all these storms will continue throughout the rest of the afternoon into the early evening. But we're planning for some soaking rain and maybe the chance for some isolated street flooding throughout the course of today. But luckily, these storms will be moving by pretty quickly, but it could dump some heavy rain like these storms we are seeing now for parts of the South Shore, down the bayou, and on our river parishes. So I'll zoom in on what is happening across the South Shore. First and foremost, we've got those heavier showers for Lafourche Parish. These are drifting to the north. So this storm right here, a few flashes of lightning, some brief gusty winds within that thunderstorm. We could see some heavier downpours with that storm as well. And that is drifting towards the north, moving from Cutoff towards Des Almonds, towards Raceland. So that's where that one stronger storm is. Some heavier showers pushing into St. Charles Parish. Jean Lafitte seeing some heavy rain. Also down for Lower Jefferson Parish. Chauvin and Houma seeing some steady and soaking showers. And we have some heavier rain for parts of Upper Plaquemines Parish, from Carlisle again to Jean Lafitte, moving towards Belle Chase. Some heavier rain for Luling, and now moving into Metairie and Upper Jefferson Parish. A closer look at Metairie and Kenner. Some heavy rain starting to move in now, and those showers will be moving into the city of New Orleans too. Lighter showers for Chalmette, but these heavier downpours will start to fill in across the New Orleans metro in the next several minutes. So plan for some heavy rain throughout the afternoon hours. Some heavy downpours could make it a little bit of a nuisance driving out there today. So make sure you take it easy on the roads, drive carefully. That one strong storm we were tracking earlier is out in the open water, out in the Sound now, so it is not impacting any land areas. So that storm out in the open water will stay in the open water. But we do expect to have some more heavier showers throughout the course of the afternoon and into the early part of the evening. Now looking over to the North Shore, St. Tammany Parish seeing a little break in the rain just north of Slidell, but we have some heavier pockets of showers from Folsom to Covington. Mandeville getting a small break in the showers. We've got some heavier rain towards Hammond along I-55. Some showers moving over Lake Pontchartrain. So more of a moderate rain for the North Shore into Washington Parish too. South Mississippi, heavy downpours for Picayune along I-59. Heavy rain for parts of Hancock County and Pearl River County now. So heavier showers and storms happening for South Mississippi. So planning for those steady and soaking downpours today. Make sure you have your umbrellas and your rain gear. You're driving carefully. You may have to deal with some puddles and ponding on those susceptible roadways that we know pick up water pretty easily, since we've been dealing with these showers off and on so far this morning. And we do have more rain that's headed for the New Orleans metro. A lot of rain basically filling in the entire area. There could be some small breaks in the showers, but that's pretty few and far between. We're looking at a pretty soggy rest of your afternoon today. So the risk for severe storms will be confined to the coast. I think the risk for severe weather is lower than maybe our risk for some heavier rain. So the risk for severe weather is lower today. We could see one or two stronger storms possible closer to our coastal spots going into this afternoon, like this thunderstorm here, which is out over the open water, and it'll continue to move in that direction. So that could eventually make its way into South Mississippi, but probably towards Biloxi and points eastward in the next several hours if it holds together, which it might. So the risk for severe weather is low, but we'll be watching for some heavier showers today with these storms. And any storms today could also produce some lightning and brief gusty winds and maybe even some small hail. But really the biggest thing will be some heavier downpours that will come in waves throughout the afternoon and into the early evening. And it's all thanks to this disturbance that's trailing by the Gulf Coast. And this disturbance will continue to push eastward going into the rest of your Friday into tomorrow. So keeping the wet weather with us today. I just want to make sure everyone knows we're going to continue to see showers through the afternoon, and through about dinner time tonight we'll continue to see some rain and thunderstorms. But it is keeping temperatures down. 73 degrees right now. It's cloudy and dreary otherwise. Winds are moving in from the north-northeast 10 to 15 miles per hour today. It is going to feel a bit humid and kind of mild and cloudy throughout the course of your Friday. Temperatures on the North Shore upper 60s because it has been kind of consistently raining off and on all day north of the lake. South Shore, it's been kind of dry at times, so we had a chance to warm up to the 70s on the South Shore. So current temperatures upper 60s, low 70s. It's pretty mild. It's a bit humid. It's cloudy. And of course, we've got rain. So now I want to track it with precision cast for the rest of today. Planning for some soaking showers throughout the afternoon. This is until about 3 o'clock. We'll probably be dealing with some rain, and that'll continue till about dinner time. 5 o'clock tonight, a few leftover showers still lingering. I think as we get into this evening, the rain will become less intense. There will be less rain coverage. It will be a bit drier going into tonight. So once we get past 6 o'clock, I think showers wind down a bit. Now there could be a few sprinkles left over here and there. It's not going to be completely bone dry, but I think the bulk of the rain will be happening throughout the afternoon and early evening. Could see a few little showers left over late tonight into the overnight hours. Heading into your weekend, we have this persistent area of low pressure that's going to be hanging out in the upper levels of the atmosphere along the Gulf Coast. So that'll kind of keep clouds around tomorrow and again on Sunday for Mother's Day. Also, what it does provide a chance for 1 or 2 isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder tomorrow throughout the course of Saturday. So tomorrow in the morning and into the afternoon, could see a few spotty showers, not a whole lot. Sunday, much of the same, clouds lingering throughout the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, a few peaks of sun, but there could be a few little spotty showers around at times on Sunday as well. Not a whole lot, but don't be surprised if you get a little bit of rain here and there going into this weekend with our pattern kind of holding steady and more of a sort of dreary sort of pattern for us in the coming days. So our rainfall totals for the rest of Friday, we may get up to 1 to maybe 2+ inches of rain. So we'll get some heavier showers. It could add up in a few spots. There might be some minor localized street flooding. Can't rule it out for the rest of today with those heavier downpours pushing in now. So anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain is expected throughout the rest of your Friday. So for that reason, there's a marginal risk for excessive rainfall today. It is a low risk, a level 1 out of 4, but it's there. We'll plan for some nuisance street flooding being a possibility today, not a guarantee. So keeping that in mind, we could see some isolated street flooding for your Friday. Also today, we have a low risk for severe weather. Like we've seen so far, we've had a couple stronger storms impacting our coastal spots. It is a marginal risk of severe weather. It's low, level 1 out of 5, but that's because 1 or 2 of these storms, like we've seen so far, could produce some stronger wind gusts, up to 40+ miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, which we've seen already along the coast. Some small hail certainly possible within these storms. Really confined to our coastal spots, some heavier showers to go along with it, and frequent lightning. So lightning is a big thing we'll be watching for today. But the risk for severe weather is quite low. It's possible, though, that any storms that move over water, and we know what the South Shore looks like, comprised of a lot of water, we could see maybe some water spouts come out of these thunderstorms today in the afternoon and early evening. Tomorrow, a little bit better. Like I mentioned, it's not going to be completely dry. I have a 20 to 30% chance tomorrow for a stray shower or 2. Mid-70s tomorrow afternoon, and it's going to feel pretty comfortable outside. We could see a few breaks of sun, so looking pretty great this weekend. Your Mother's Day forecast, temperatures back in the mid-70s, upper 70s, partly sunny, clouds lingering, a few breaks of sun. Could see a few spotty showers during the day on Sunday for Mother's Day. So I mentioned that persistent low pressure that'll be hanging out over the Gulf Coast throughout the weekend. That keeps us kind of cloudy with a few showers around. That system finally pulls away and will be replaced by a ridge of high pressure next week, and that will finally dry us up, but it comes with a big warm up. We'll see temperatures really heating up going into later next week. So finally, we'll get to that 7-day forecast so you can plan out your busy weekend. As for your Friday today, like we've been talking about, it will be a wet and soggy Friday. Make sure you drive carefully, have your umbrellas and your rain gear. Rain will last through the afternoon and into the early evening. Saturday and Sunday, a bit more cloud cover continuing, a little bit of sun here and there, a few spotty showers around Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures not bad, mid-upper 70s. Monday, much of the same, upper 70s, maybe a shower Monday. But then we get into that drier, hotter pattern next week with plenty of sunshine. Temperatures will climb well into the 80s next week, maybe even seeing some 90s later in the week. So much warmer weather coming our way later next week. So thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you have a great weekend.